For many a Broadway season, Jenn Colella was a standout in shows that struggled to find an audience. Urban Cowboy, High Fidelity, Chaplin. Then came a role in the 2014 musical If Then opposite Idina Menzel, which ran a full year on Broadway, a personal victory so exciting the cast congratulated her with a party backstage. Now the big voice star may have found another steady gig in Come From Away, the new Broadway musical that tells of a group of displaced travelers in the days following 9/11. Among other roles, Colella plays Beverly, a female pilot who tells her story in the moving showstopper Me and the Sky.
Drinks.
Find out how Colella learned about Broadway in a garage.
So that was my first exposure to actually being in a show and feeling the camaraderie of being in a cast.
In a garage.
Yep.
Okay. How stand-up comedy made her ready for the big time, and more on this week's Show People. Hi, Jen.
Hi, Paul.
How are you? You look fabulous.
Thank you so much.
You always look good. I love your style. I love your style.
That's a nice thing to say. I love yours as well.
And
That's
I just
sweet.
always like seeing you. I feel like you came to Broadway very shortly after Broadway.com, and I feel like I've just been sort of following
We've
you.
grown up together.
Yes.
Well, this is one of my favorite shows. It's literally been a dream of mine to be in this chair. I've seen so many of my friends.
What an honor.
Oh, the honor is mine.
I love that you said that. Broadway's new hit, Come From Away. Rave reviews. You've been on a journey with this show. It's sort of the little show that could right now. Talk about the journey of Come From Away and when you first sort of heard about it and how awesome it is that you're here now.
So the audition was for Telsey, and I knew that Chris Ashley was directing. And
how long ago?
This was 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago.
Like during If Then? You were in If Then?
Yes, I was in If Then.
Right.
I went in thinking, I'm not right for this. There's a line in the song that they had me learn, the pilot song, where she says, somehow I'm 51. And I was like, there's no way I'm playing 51. So I'll go in and I'll remind Telsey and Chris Ashley, and I love working at La Jolla, my favorite regional theater.
Right, so it started at La Jolla Playhouse.
Yes. So I'm going to go in and remind them how I prepare and who I am. But there are many times actors go in for auditions, we don't think we're right for it, but you still want to go in and be like, hi, this is how I do it.
Right.
And so that's what it was for me. And they were so sweet and so receptive, and I was like, oh, they're being so lovely. And then I got a call back, which my agent actually forgot to tell me about, and so I got called that day, and they were like, hey, can you learn this song really quickly? They want you back in.
Wow.
And it still didn't dawn on me that they were really looking at me. I thought, oh, they want to look at me against whomever it is they would like to cast, and how sweet of them, and I'd be delighted to help them in that way. So I go in and I work with the musical director, Ian Eisendrath, and his demand for excellence at all times is something I really admire. And so we have this great work session, and then I go in, and it wasn't until that moment when I was singing the song and feeling their reaction that I thought, oh shoot, I'm going to get this.
This is the thing.
This is the thing.
This is the song. This is the song that I've been listening to all morning, and it's been in my head.
It'll stick in
What's
there.
the song called?
It's called Me and the Sky.
Me and the Sky, right. It's such a beautiful moment in the show. I mean, this is a real ensemble show.
It is.
You're all on stage mostly the whole time.
Yes.
And you're playing multiple characters. But you do have this really nice moment. Funny story, when I went to see the show again last week, I was leaving the theater at the end, and a bunch of people were crowding around somebody in the audience, and I said, who is that? And they said, it's the real Jenn Colella. And I love that there's a real Jenn Colella.
That's
but
amazing.
What they mean by that is that's Beverly. That was Beverly. A lot of the people in the show is based on real people's stories. But Beverly, her story, she's a pilot.
She's Captain Beverly Bass, yes.
Captain Beverly Bass, okay. And and now you're friendly with her, and
we're dear friends. She's seen the show, I think last night was 59 times.
Wow.
And I always joke that she wouldn't miss the opening of an envelope. She has been to every opening. She brought 90 female pilots to our opening in Toronto, 50 of them in Seattle. She has been such a champion for us and for the show, and we have become dear friends since, absolutely. She's an extraordinary woman. She's a pioneer in her field, and to get to know her has been a true bonus of this whole experience.
Is that a little stressful?
Initially it was. was. It felt a bit daunting because so much of the show is direct address to the audience.
Yeah.
And I can see her, and she's laughing and crying. She watches it like it's the first time every time. She's laughing and crying, and I'm referring to her husband, Tom, whom she's grabbing and holding on to. And I felt, and still continue to feel, a deep sense of wanting and needing to honor her with this story. It's getting easier because I'm just more comfortable and used to seeing her out there, but it's strange. It's a little meta,
Yeah. So you went to La Jolla, and then you went to Seattle.
That's right.
And then D.C., Washington, D.C.
That's right.
Ford's Theater.
That's right.
The iconic Ford's Theater with the
awesome.
museum underneath. I went to see it there, and there's a museum underneath all about
Isn't
Lincoln
that
getting
incredible?
shot.
Isn't it beautiful? Beautiful theater.
Yeah, and then you went to Toronto.
Well, actually, then we went to Gander, and we did the concert version in their hockey rink for like 5,000
Okay, what was that
people.
like?
Completely surreal. I don't think I've processed that yet, because we've been going so much ever since.
Yeah.
You know, there's a moment in the opening number where we sing "I'm an Islander," and they rose to their feet and started clapping and crying right at the beginning. And the pride that was emanating from this group of beautiful people because they were being shown in this light. And every time we sing that lyric now, we think of their faces and them rising to their feet. I'll never forget that experience, ever. And it's true, we would be walking down the streets of Gander, and somebody would pull over and be like, "Do you need some help? What are you looking for? What can I help you with?" We're looking for a liquor store, and they're like, "It's right there." And we'd get in the car with a strange man, and he told us his story and took us to the liquor store. It was amazing.
It's okay to get in the car with the strange man.
Totally fine in Gander.
The energy of the show, and I think what a lot of people are responding to, is just sort of this story of humans helping each other and positivity, and sort of we're all in this together, and that's sort of what people are really loving about this. And it seems like it's sort of come into your life as well.
Indeed. It's a kindness movement. It's a reminder that we're all inherently good. I really believe that. And, you know, my religion is kindness, and I believe in the practice of it. And so to be involved in a show that is now starting to branch out into this kind of movement, and we're building this family of people, which now includes the entire community of New York, is astounding. It's everything I've ever dreamed of.
Yeah. And you've been involved with a lot of shows.
Yes.
So, I mean, you've been in New York for how long now?
Almost 15 years.
Okay, right.
Urban Cowboy was like 2002, 2003.
Yeah, Urban Cowboy.
Yep.
Sissy.
Come on now.
Sissy. First of all, I mean, it's just so great to get to play Sissy.
It was so good. Man, I got to sing and dance and fight and make love and ride a mechanical bull. It was the best.
Yeah, that was a fun show.
That was a fun show. Matt Cavanaugh actually came last week to see the show. He and Jenny Powers. It was awesome.
Yeah, the theater friendships are real. You have a lot of, perform with a lot of people. You're sort of like one of those 6 degrees of Jenn Colella. Like you could be like the nucleus.
If you stick around long enough, man.
I mean, in reading, but what I mean is this career can be a lot.
Yes.
So these moments must be, you need to really sort of take them in, don't you? When something 100%. Like Come From Away opens, rave reviews, people are loving it, you have to sort of like...
This is the first time I've gotten rave reviews, ever.
Right.
So opening nights, for me, have been... You know, around 11 o'clock, people start looking at their
the
phones,
parties
and
start.
Then it's like
everyone's on their
there's
phone.
Like a record skip, like the music stops, the lights go up, and we're like, where are we going now? And it wasn't that this time. And I can remember somebody touching me on the shoulder and saying, "The Times just came in," and I held my breath, and they said, "It's a rave, congratulations." And I'm still kind of processing it. I was gobsmacked. Not that I didn't think that we would be received well, but I've never experienced that in my time here in New York. So I do feel deeply, especially grateful right
You
now.
deserve it. And
Thanks, man.
I remember when If Then was running. I remember I ran into you and you said, like, it's the longest run I've ever had on Broadway.
Sure.
I mean,
we
it ran
had a party.
year.
Yeah, we had a party after like 4 months, which was previously my longest running show, I think Chaplin. And we threw a party because it was officially like one day after, you know, that.
Jenn Colella, yes, I love it. Okay, I want to hear more about your past. After we're gonna take a quick break, so we'll be right back with Jenn Colella. And we're back with Jenn Colella from Come From Away, Broadway's new hit. Yay, Jenn Colella career, I love it. Tell me about little Jenn Colella. Take me back to what, South Carolina?
South Carolina. I was born in Charleston, grew up in Somerville, which is right outside of Charleston. And listen, already like the accent. You hear that, Charleston, right outside. And then my family actually moved to Hilton Head Island, where they've been for over 3 decades now.
They run a golf shop, is that right?
That's right, they did. Although we've recently sold the golf shop.
Oh, okay,
So they've retired that. So my parents are no longer together, but my mom and my stepmom are best friends, which is a project I've been working on for many years.
Wow.
I knew that they'd get along well. So for opening night, it was my mom, my stepmom, my little brother Andy, and my dad. Wow. And the last time my dad seen me in any show was Urban Cowboy.
Really?
Yeah, he would rather stick hot pokers in his eyes than watch musical theater. Although that's changing now. He's starting to come around. So it was cool to have him in the audience for opening night, for sure.
That's wonderful.
And my mom and my stepmom have both been huge supporters of me and you know, my love of the arts for many years. But there wasn't a lot of theater in South Carolina growing up.
So what was your exposure to it?
So I first was a choir nerd, like just choir. Concert choir, show choir. That was where I lived and learned how to harmonize. And I remember being a first soprano, but wanting to learn more about the alto line. So I would like crawl on the bleachers over to the alto section to like trying to be inconspicuous to like learn more of the alto line so I could harmonize better. That's where I learned about music. And then there was this woman who like taught theater out of her garage in Somerville, South Carolina, and started a group called the Somerville Players. And my mom was a teacher at the time. She taught special ed for 25 years, and so she didn't have a lot of money for me to take lessons from this woman, so I would do odd jobs around her house. And I can remember being this like little 13-year-old weighing like 70 pounds, painting the outside of this woman's house so that I could, play Gertie in Oklahoma in her garage. Like.
And what did she teach in the garage? Like, what happened in the
garage?
We
would do. It was mostly, we would do shows. We did Oklahoma was like the first show that I was in, and I played Gertie, and I had braces,
many people
and like, I would say 18 of us.
Wow.
Kids, high school kids, and so that was my first like exposure to actually being in a show and feeling the camaraderie of being in a cast.
In a garage.
Yep.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah, man.
Costumes and.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Then there's the Flowertown Players has a very small, I think it's still there in Somerville, South Carolina, theater where we would actually do it. But we rehearsed in her garage. Yeah.
Wow.
For sure.
And at some point, I've sort of teased you a lot about this for years because I love your tattoo.
I know.
Story.
I knew this was coming.
And you knew I was going to bring it up.
Yeah, of course.
And just because I feel like if you're finally on Show People, it needs to be a part of the Show
Let's
People
do it.
interview.
No, I have to. Yes.
Was this your first tattoo?
This was my second tattoo.
Okay.
Yes.
What was your first tattoo?
I can't tell you. It's terribly embarrassing. Yes.
Something else sort of embarrassing?
Yes, entirely.
Really?
Yeah.
You have multiple embarrassing tattoos?
I do. Yeah. I do indeed.
All right, so you don't want to tell me the first one.
I'm not going to tell you
the second one you told me at some point.
Yeah, it's
and
basically,
probably regretted it forever.
Yeah.
Because now, your second tattoo was what?
My second tattoo was the Phantom of the Opera mask on my right arm.
Right.
That's right.
And
because that was the first show that I saw on Broadway. Our choir took a trip to New York, and our like drama group, and we saw Phantom of the Opera, and it was that moment for me where I can remember being front row mezz, and I almost fell over the mezzanine watching, and I was swept away, and I thought, oh, this is exactly where I belong. I can do this. I can sing every note she sings. I can do this. And so the Phantom of the Opera mask was my stamp at the moment, my sweet 18-year-old self being like, I'm going to do this. I will do this. I can do this.
I love it. And the only reason why I bring it up is because I probably would have done the same thing.
Of course. No, we're all theater nerds.
And then what happened is...
So then what happened is...
It's no longer a fan. It's not there anymore.
No, because
it's there somewhere, but
yes,
covered.
I was cast as the lead in Urban Cowboy.
Sissy!
As Sissy. And we opened at the Broadhurst right next to the Phantom's Theater, and I thought, well, I can't be right next to the Phantom of the Opera, starring in the show with the Phantom of the Opera mask.
It'd be weird, yeah.
It would be strange. So me and a couple of members of the cast from Urban Cowboy went and got tattoos together, and we got stars.
Right.
I always knew that my next tattoo would be a star. It was my starring role on Broadway, the Lone Star State, but mostly because of what stars represent, guidance and light, and so it felt befitting for for that to be the thing that would cover up the Phantom of the Opera mask.
And you did Hedda's Headlines, which I love. That was our vlog.
Ooh, that was fun.
Yeah, I love a former vlogger comes on.
Thanks.
And I love Chaplin, by the way.
Me too.
That show was
super proud
stunning.
of that show. Thank you. It was a beautiful, beautiful show, and what Warren Carlyle did with it was extraordinary. And Rob McClure is unlike anything else I've ever seen. He is tireless. I've never seen anyone with that much energy and dedication, and he celebrates every single moment of rehearsal, of stage time.
Yeah. I want to talk about If Then, too. You were playing Anne.
That's right.
One of the fun lesbians
in
If Then.
Is there any other kind?
But there was some point in the run where I realized that you were the understudy for Idina Menzel.
The second cover.
The second cover.
That's
so Jackie Burns was the cover.
Was her standby,
Right. She was a standby, so she was not in the show. She was waiting in case she had to go on.
That's right.
When I heard at this point, oh my God, there's a chance that Jenn Colella this might happen.
Yes.
And just so you know what a Jenn Colella fan I am, I remember the day on a Wednesday matinee when we were at work and somebody at like 2:30 the alarms went off or whatever we did, and we're like, oh my God, Jenn Colella's on. Jenn Colella is on.
My heart is pounding right now just thinking
And I ran over there and saw Act 2 because I had to hear you sing that song. And you were phenomenal.
That's so sweet of you. First of all,
kidding me? It
that's
was so
amazing.
exciting.
Thanks, man. It was a cool and terrifying moment. I can remember coming off stage and LaShawn's was like, was that awesome? Can you wait to do that again or what? I was like, I don't want to do that again. That was nuts. I had never done it. I'd never run it. We'd had a couple of rehearsals, but I'd never done any of the costume
You've never
changes.
actually been through the whole show like
No, and certainly not with the orchestra or the costumes. I can remember exiting in the wrong wing, and it was very quiet, and I thought, ooh, there should be more action here, and I'd turn the corner, and there's bite lights and socks, and I was like, right. And so they would just dress me, and I would walk on stage and have no clue. I was like, oh, it's like a blazer situation, and I have a folder, hello. Like, it was fascinating. It was amazing, and I already had such deep respect for Idina, but after doing that, it grew. My respect for her grew and grew and grew and continues to. She's such a phenomenal human being.
I wanted to ask you about your stand-up comedy career. Because you were doing that.
Yes, I was a regular at the Laugh Factory and the Comedy Store.
You were doing that. And were you good at it?
I was great at it.
When you were doing that, were you still thinking, but I really want to do a Broadway musical? Or were you like, no, I'm a comedian?
I was focused, I did stand-up comedy in Los Angeles to be more present in that particular industry. Theater isn't as celebrated there. So I was working on I was auditioning for a lot of television at the time.
Of course.
And so that was kind of to help that along. I wanted a sitcom. I wanted to do that kind of thing. But actually the stand-up for me was important because it taught me how to be courageous on stage. Like, there's no one else to blame. I can't blame any other writers. I'm the writer. I can't blame if a joke fails, it is right on my shoulders. And what I learned is that I can fail miserably on stage and then in the next breath have them laughing again. So the world continues to spin. It really helped me just feel absolutely confident that whatever happens on stage, I'll be okay.
Right.
Which I find very valuable to this day.
But what was your persona on stage? I want to sort of know.
You've experienced it. I'm just sitting down, like it's me. It was observational humor. I was just kind of coming out. I was a little baby dyke at the time, so I was starting to just come out and talk a little bit about being gay or mostly gay as I identify. And
now you're mostly gay.
I'm mostly gay.
Okay, mostly
I think.
Gay. That's a scale.
I don't know. It's hard to. Yeah. I got a lot of love to give. And then I would. I used to watch a lot of Cops. Like that show, Cops.
Yeah.
You can't write
a lot of material there.
Dialogue funnier than a domestic dispute. So I would kind of reenact my favorite domestic disputes to end my set. That was it. It was.
And did you have when you were bombing on stage? Did you have go-to jokes you knew would make them laugh? Is that like a game? Do you sort of go, I'm going to say this one because I know that?
Yeah, kind of, yes.
Must,
absolutely, yes. Yeah. Or, I would go to the audience and trust my improvisational skills and be like, all right, let me start talking to them and win them back over. And you have to find ways to be self-deprecating without absolutely destroying yourself. It's an art form, for sure. And I don't think that I was ever fantastic at it, but I was all right.
And it got you to a point where you could walk on stage and be Idina Menzel for a couple hours without any rehearsals.
Precisely, yes.
So it all works out.
That's right.
You're actually part of Dear Evan Hansen, too.
Yes.
Competing musicals for the Tony race.
No, I don't believe in the competition part.
But so talk about that, because I was surprised when I realized that.
Yes, Michael Greif and Alex Lacamoire contacted me and said, hey, we are doing this virtual chorus and we would love to have your voice in it and we need to learn stuff real quick. Can you come in? And so I was thrilled. I would do anything for this.
So that means you're one of the voices in all the...
In some of the songs, like, you know, to like fill out their songs.
Okay.
And then, you know, they have all that really cool media stuff and the voices, so I'm in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm
that's
on
neat.
like 45th Street, right across from each other. My voice is,
people can hear you in both. That's crazy.
Isn't that cool?
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I know. I like that too. Yeah, I'm honored. I think it's such a great show.
Yeah.
Really.
Okay, we're going to take another break, and when we come back, we're going to play a fun, I hope, little game. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back with Jenn Colella. You know, one thing I haven't really talked about is your haircut. I love your hair.
Oh,
I love
thanks.
the short hair, and I know you've played around with different
sure
looks.
have.
Did you have long hair when you were younger? Like,
I've never had like long hair.
Okay.
No. You know, I still have a like driver's license picture with like long, like blonde hair to here, which is
you still have the same driver's license picture?
Yeah. Just because it cracks me up to see it now, the difference. I was kind of getting shorter and shorter, and then I did Peter Pan in Sacramento, and Glenn Casale really wanted me to cut it, so I cut it for that. And then I did this show called Feed the Beast on AMC, and they wanted it short for that.
Okay.
And Chris Ashley was really wanting me to grow it back out for this show, but he was sweet enough to understand that.
It's a thing, though.
It's a thing. It is, yeah.
And it's a thing, and you know, there's a lot of great women who rock the short do, and so I want to play a little game that I'm going to call Sisterhood of the Traveling Buzzer. The game is that you have to figure out who these people are based on their haircuts.
Okay, yeah.
Okay? And I will give you hints.
Sure.
I'll give you hints. I'll help you as much as I can.
How fun.
So we're just going to start with one that I think is pretty easy.
Okay. That's Ellen DeGeneres.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously Ellen DeGeneres, who has always rocked. I mean, this look has, she's worked in that look. Okay, you ready?
Pink. Is that pink?
It's definitely pink.
I'm doing great.
And you're doing really good.
This is awesome.
Actually.
Look how cool that haircut is. That's awesome.
I want you to do that one.
That's a good one. Okay, that's next. Yeah. Is that Cynthia? Is that Cynthia?
It's Cynthia Erivo. Very good.
Yes.
All right, 3 for 3. We're doing good. There she is.
Oh, lovely.
That's her Oscar look.
Man, she's good looking. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's looking at. This one's okay. This one might be a challenge.
This one is challenging.
This is a new look too. This is pretty recent.
Okay. Oh, is it Emma?
It's not.
Oh, shoot.
She's famously into vampires.
Oh, yes. Shoot. What is her name?
Her.
Damn it. Yes, her. I know exactly who you mean. I know exactly who you mean.
Kristen Stewart.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to count that. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if you got that one.
No, I didn't get that one.
All right, there she is.
Ooh, wait, go back. That's so hot.
Oh, you're into that.
I'm into it.
That's a good look.
My God.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right, cool. Thank you.
But how far on the scale did you say? Are you?
No, I'm really mostly gay. It's
The makeup too, right?
Oh.
Okay.
That's Beth Malone. I know that little head anywhere. Oh.
She's a friend of yours.
She is one of my dearest friends. We went to grad school together. We've known each other 20 years.
I actually didn't know that.
One of my dearest friends on the planet.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she definitely had a moment where she chopped that for fun.
Ooh, so good. One of the most naturally stunning women I've ever seen in my life. Oh, that's Dame Judi Dench, right? Am I making
so close.
I was close. Glenn Close.
Yep.
So close. Yep, Glenn Close. Okay. There it is. Beautiful.
She's on Broadway,
Stunning.
rocking that look.
Yes. Is that Emma?
No.
Damn it.
Who's Emma? Oh, no. Her hair's longer now.
Is it?
I only do women who actually have like short hair now.
I love that. No, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, you do.
I do?
Give me clues. The hint is Black Widow. She just hosted Saturday Night Live.
All right. A great deal of television.
Scarlett Johansson.
Oh God! Can I just get a little closer to that one? Give me that. Did she just host Saturday Night Live?
Yeah, it was so good. You gotta watch it.
Just this past Saturday?
Yeah, you gotta watch it. She's a great.
Is the game over? I mean,
just take that in. Just take that in. Yeah, you guys are cute together.
We're so cute together.
Give me back.
All right.
Give me ScarJo.
ScarJo is awesome.
This might be hard too.
Yeah, that one does feel hard, but I'm digging her earrings.
She kissed a girl.
Oh, Katy Perry. Yeah, she did. Oof.
She is. She's rocking it, right?
Right
See,
on.
all these women are doing this look now.
It's good.
All the cool chicks.
You've got like the glamorous pictures of these women.
Good,
as well.
right?
Yeah. Younger Ellen DeGeneres, easy.
Who?
I said younger Ellen DeGeneres, easy.
She was just nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah, I haven't been seeing anything. I've only been doing the show.
She's like, you're like, I've been bringing a Broadway musical together.
There's no TV, there's no movies.
This is,
yes, I'm not.
She lives in She famously lives in Brooklyn.
Oh.
Her name is Michelle Williams.
Oh God,
Okay,
really
we're almost
crazy
done.
about her as well. All right, Chita Rivera.
See? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Know that. Oh,
yeah, rocking
stunning.
it. All right, just one more.
Hey, that's me.
Ah, that would have been terrible if you didn't get yourself.
Wouldn't that be so weird?
Look how cute you are. You fit right in.
Thanks. Oh, that's
you fit right in with those
sweet
women.
for you to say, man.
So I think you did pretty good.
I did all right.
You did all right.
I did all right. I mostly just was like turned on by all of them. That was my game.
So Come From Away is at the Schoenfeld.
It sure is.
And they welcome everyone to come from away and come enjoy the show.
Really,
the album is also out.
The album's out. Yep.
Yeah, so people can
Yep.
get obsessed with that song like I am and all of it.
We're going to do a CD signing at Barnes & Noble soon.
Oh, cool.
Too. Yeah.
Well, Jen, I am so happy for you.
Thank you.
I love everything you do. I love watching your career, and you pick such great roles, and some of them are big hits, some of them aren't, and I'm thrilled that you're in a hit right now.
I appreciate you, Paul.
Yeah.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you so much for being here.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.